ChatGPT is pretty good at solving different problems and programming stuff, but I wanted to know if it could create another ChatGPT, and spoiler alert, it kind of can. I could talk through how this one works and how they went about it, but I think that'd be pretty boring. So I'm going to do it live. Live as in already edited, recorded, and uploaded to YouTube. That kind of live. Oh yeah. Model, we'll switch this over to GPT-4, which currently has a message cap. How fun. Start off. I'll just start pretty basic. Program ChatGPT. We'll get straight to the point, and then we will send that out. Hello, how can I help you? If you have any questions. Oh, it's like thinking I'm asking about the program ChatGPT. Write a large language model AI like ChatGPT. There we go. Should be closer. Now it's going to tell me about what it'd be like to create a model. ChatGPT does this a lot, where it gives an idea of what's going on. It requires expertise in these fields, and it will give you a high-level overview of the process. Starting with gathering the data set. Obviously, you're going to need a lot of data to do this right. Processing the information, defining the architecture, choosing different types of architecture. Transformer architecture is probably what we're going to use. GPT stands for Generative Pre-Transformer or something to that effect. Training the model, regularization and fine-tuning. How fun. I bet we'll focus on the fine-tuning aspect, because we'll probably use a pre-trained model. That's typically easier. Evaluation and testing. So we'll probably not even get to that point. That's a little too crazy. And deployment is definitely not something that's happening in this video, but maybe we'll get to it someday. Please note that it's a lot of work. Does all these things. Cool. I'll tell it, write me a program in Python that implements the above idea. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. That last attempt didn't work too well in my current architecture, so it wasn't ChatGPT's fault, so we'll give it a try. New one. Gonna use the same prompt. Program a LLM like ChatGPT. And we'll hit enter to send it. Creating a large language model is complex. I'll just speed this up. It's the same thing you've already seen. Okay, I copied this prompt from earlier because it worked really well, so we'll try this again. Write a program to execute what you just described in order to build an LLM like ChatGPT. We're reminding it the goal and then also giving it what it's described to do. So it's like I think this is pretty good prompt engineering. Once again, it's going to tell me that it can't quite do that, but it's going to, there we go, this seems right. It's going to give me another attempt, but this time it's using Hugging Face and GPT-2. So it's making its little version of itself using an older version. Okay, we'll run this command. It's interesting that it put all the pips on different lines. I don't know if I can still copy and paste this in. It seems like it. Oh, sweet. I already have the requirements satisfied. That's great. A simple Python script to train a simple language model. Sweet. So importing our torch and transformers, loading the model. Path to training data is interesting. We're going to need that training data from somewhere. So we'll ask ChatGPT for that too. Data collector, training arguments, actually do the training. Oh, this is going to try to put everything in one file, it looks like. That's sweet. Trainer, model, args, data collector, data training, data train, and then just to execute. Sweet. Shows how to fine-tune a model using the Hugging Face transformers. You'll need to provide your own training data. We'll ask it for that. A very basic example doesn't cover all aspects. Now it tells me what you'll need for a more advanced model. We'll copy this in. Did it give us a name for it? No. Okay. I'll just call it train.py. Paste in what it gave us. Okay. Now we don't have a training data set. So ask it, generate a sample training data.txt. Hopefully this can provide us some diverse and high quality text to train on. Please note this is a sample for demonstration purposes, should not be used for a serious. Okay, so it's going to be training it on, I guess, probably just a small essay about artificial intelligence. Very cool. So we'll use text on an AI to train an AI. We're teaching it what it should do. Okay, cool. It's now generated the text. I'll copy it. It tells me to put it in training data.txt. So we'll create that folder and paste it in, or that file and paste it in. Sweet. So now let's go back into train. You see it's expecting this file to be at an output. We'll set it to the current file name, and then we'll run this and see how it works. With a 3 train.py. Hopefully this works. First attempt running ChatGPT's training model. Okay, we get some warnings that something's deprecated. It seems pretty good though. And now we have cached libraries and an output. Sweet. How do you run a prompt on this? What are we going to call it? On this AI. We'll just keep it general. Okay. And this is one of the major benefits of ChatGPT is you can ask it a question and it remembers the context. So it knows what it has here, and now it's going to give me something that's intended to interact. So it remembers that this should output in this output folder, and then it's going to use that as the input for this section. So it's pretty good at continuity. Going to tokenize, write a response. GPT-2, the pre-trained model, is doing all the heavy work here, but it is really cool to interact with it. Okay, then we're using, what are the future of AI healthcare? That's a very interesting default prompt. With model path to the faster fine-tuned model. Where is model path? Model path to generate response prompt. Oh, we're defaulting to output. Okay, sweet. Okay, we'll run this in, I'll call it execute.py, paste this in, and I will give this a little run. Ooh, we have an issue. Can't load tokenizer. Okay, I'll tell GPT. Code gave the following error. How can this be fixed? Let's see. AI debugging. A error occurs because we do not save the tokenizer to the output directory during the training process. So it identifies where it believes the issue was in the code that it wrote. So add the following line to train language model function in the training script, right after initializing the tokenizer. Oh, here's the updated training function. So this is probably going to show me where in the function to put it. Very nice. We will go into our training function, find the trade model, and now it says to trade. This is where we need to output the tokenizer. Paste it in there. That should be the only change, I believe. So we will run this now. Well, actually, we're going to have to retrain, and then we can execute the execute script. Okay, still getting some warnings. Hopefully not a big deal. And then execute. We'll see if this runs now. Okay, another issue. Output does not appear to have a file named config. Okay. Now there is a new error. We'll just give it the error. It should imply that it needs to be fixed. The issue is caused by not saving the model's configuration file to the output directory. Okay, so sorry about that. My recording software just decided to close. Isn't very fun. But if we go back up here, it's telling me to run this line right after the other one that we changed. So we'll go back into the training script, go to this line, and just paste it in. Very nice. Now we'll retrain and re-execute again, and hopefully this time we won't have any bugs. But it's very cool that ChatGPT is able to write code and then accurately debug it whenever I give it error messages, which is pretty impressive in my view. Okay, we're missing some more some more things that's expected. So this initial script wasn't too good, but as long as it keeps making progress, that's great. I apologize for the confusion. The model itself isn't being added to the output directory. Well, that's a problem. What were we outputting? Anything? Okay. Add the trainer.train line. Oh, add this after the trainer.train line. So after training output. Makes sense. So at the end of this training part here, we'll go down and input that. Okay, retrain. See what happens this time. Okay, we've got things being saved, looks good, and we'll try executing again. Okay, we have an error. Oh, it gives an output. What is the future of AI in healthcare? And it responded to our prompt. AI is a new field of research that aims to improve the human condition by creating artificial intelligence that can learn from human behavior. These algorithms can be used for medical purposes. And there you have it. ChatGPT created a working little version of itself using GPT-2 and then fine-tuning it on a data set that it was able to provide all by itself, me just acting on its behalf. That's pretty impressive. We're still having a warning here. How would I fix this warning? Given that I was able to fix all of our errors, I bet it should be able to fix this little warning, and then it's be perfectly working. You should set the attention mask on Panarel when generating the response. Okay, so it's in the generate response function. So in our execution script, oh, is it just going to completely rewrite the script? Oh, that's nice. Formers, generate response, loading tokens. Okay, well, since it's completely regenerating this response, I will remove or execute and then get ready to paste a new one in here once it's finished. Okay, so it identified that the issue is the attention mask and pad token ID, tells us that, and then rewrites the code to include those things. It's pretty crazy. Okay, now we have this. We already have our model trained, so we'll just try to execute again. And this time, no warning. It just gives us the prompt and the output. There we go. Perfectly working without any issues at all, just by asking ChatGPT a series of prompts. So now, let's do a new prompt. Should the viewer subscribe, if I can spell it correctly, to /mess? I think that's a pretty good question for this AI to solve. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, it's hallucinating. It's making up something that I'm not aware of. We'll just pretend it said yes. It definitely said yes. Well, thank you all for watching. See you in the next one.